Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Hope you all are fine. Welcome to college life. My name is Sumaira Zahir. I'm your English teacher. Inshallah, we'll have a good time together. As we all are stuck at homes, we need to spend it fulfilling our purpose. It's all about finding the calm in the chaos. With most of us quarantined at home, uncertain of the future, and testing days ahead, it is natural to feel blue and even panic. However, at such times, it is important to change our outlook towards self-isolation as something unfortunate. Instead, we must look at it as a time to slow down, rejuvenate, be grateful, and do all our favorite things, including studies, at home. As far as your syllabus is concerned, you have only one English compulsory book, which is divided into 8 units. Each unit is having a short story, an essay, and a poem. There is one play also in your curriculum, which is included in unit number 8. We start today's session with unit number 1. Our first topic is his first flight. It's a short story written by Liam O'Flaherty. Liam O'Flaherty was an Irish novelist and short story writer. First of all, if you look at the title, his first flight, so it itself gives you the meaning, like something which you are going to do for the first time. So first of all, I'll give you the introduction of the story. His first flight is an account of a young bird, namely seagull, that is afraid to fly for the first time. He believes that his wings would not support him and he will fall down into the deep sea below. Despite his brothers and a younger sister flying fearlessly, he could not gather the courage to do so. He was punished by his family to stay hungry if he did not try. Thus, it was his mother who compelled him to fly. So basically, the young seagull, he was scared to fly because it was his very first flight and he was scared of it. So when we go through the story, we will come to know how his mother motivated him and how she compelled him to fly. Theme of the story is one must have courage, self-confidence, motivation, and self-reliance. And moral of the story is fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself. We can perform any task that appears to be difficult, provided we are willing to take the risk of failure. Where there is a will, there is a way. And necessity is the mother of invention. So basically, this short story is based on the story of a small bird. Such stories which are presenting the study of birds, such kind of story is called ornithology. And the writers are called ornithologists. So we will start with the story first. If you come to your book, page number 12, so you can check out while I'm reading for you people. I'll try to cover it up if possible, inshallah, because unless you read it, you won't be able to comprehend it. So we start from page number 12, the very first paragraph of his first flight. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. Ledge, I have written the meaning. It's a narrow surface projecting from a cliff. You can look at this portrait of a rock which I have drawn here. So this part of the rock which is projecting outward, it's called a ledge. So his 2 brothers and his sister had already flown away the day before. He had been afraid to fly with them. Story starts with the young seagull who is just waiting on the ledge. His brothers and sisters had already flown away, but since he was scared, so he was just standing there doing nothing. Somehow, when he had taken a little run to the brink of the ledge, brink means to the edge or the corner of the ledge, and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. The seagull got scared. He thought when he'll be flying, so he might fell down into the deep sea below. He felt certain that his wings would not support him, so he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge where he slept at night. Even when each of his brothers and his sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings and flew away, he failed to muster up courage. Now, why he failed to muster up courage? Because he was scared to fly. There are so many, if you look around, you might have noticed many a times your younger siblings, they are always scared to do something for the first time. But we must keep in mind, our parents can support us to a certain extent, but not forever. So we need to get rid of this fear. Same happened with the seagull. And it's been 24 hours, he was just sitting there, roaming here and there, and obviously he had not eaten anything. I want you people to come to page number 13, last paragraph. Second last paragraph. He stepped slowly out to the brink of the ledge, and standing on one leg, with the other leg hidden under his wing, he closed one eye, then the other, and pretended to be falling asleep. So when he noticed that his parents are not bothering to see even towards him, and they were just playing and enjoying their flight with the other children. So what he did, he pretended as if he is dizzy and he's falling asleep and he's very hungry. Still, they took no notice of him. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. His father was preening. Preening, I hope you know the process in which the birds they usually clear and clean their feathers with their beaks. So father was preening the feathers on his white back. Only his mother was looking at him. She was standing on a little high hump, a little hillock. Her white breast thrust forward. Now and again she tore at a piece of fish that lay at her feet. She was tearing a piece of fish and she was eating it and she was giving it to other children as well. And the sight of the food maddened him. The moment this young seagull looked at the food, he got mad because he was very hungry at that time. He had not eaten anything. How he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak now and again to sharpen it. He uttered a low cackle. Cackle is the sound produced by the birds. This is called onomatopoeia. I have mentioned it on the board, the formation of a word from a sound associated with what is named. There are so many sounds we listen to, we utter as well. For example, cuckoo, sizzle, splash, boom, slam. These are all onomatopoeic words. So what he did, he uttered a cackle so that he could get the concentration of his mother. Ga, 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 he cried, begging her to bring him some food. But he kept calling plaintively. Plaintively means mournfully, pretending to be very sad at that time. And after a minute or so, he uttered a joyful scream because he saw his mother had picked up a piece of fish and was flying across to him with it. He leaned out eagerly, he bent forward, tapping the rock with his feet. He got very happy when he saw that his mother is flying towards him with a piece of fish. But when she was just opposite to him, abreast of the ledge, just opposite, she halted. She waited in the air, her wings motionless, the piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak. He waited a moment in surprise why his mother is not coming towards him, wondering why she did not come nearer. And then, obviously maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. And that was the turning point. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards into space. His mother had swooped upwards. As he passed beneath her, he heard the swish of her wings. Then a monstrous terror seized him, and his heart stood still. He could hear nothing, but it only lasted a moment. The next moment he felt his wings spread outwards, and then he felt that he could fly along with his parents, along with his siblings, and perfectly. Now he was not feeling any fear, or he was not scared of anything. So this is what motivation does to him. His mother motivated him, and that's why he flew. So if we discuss the theme of the story, so it is all having courage and so we can say that motivation played the role. If we talk about the young seagull who was afraid to fly, lekin ultimately when his mother motivated him, she forced him to jump into the air. So in spite of all his fears, he jumped and he got rid of that fear. We can say that it was his mother who compelled him to fly by using food as a trap. This lesson gives us the message that fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself. We can perform any task, we can do anything, provided if we need to get rid of our fears. So I conclude this lesson here, and inshallah we'll be discussing its exercise in the next lesson.